Hello, and thanks for joining me for our weekly episode of NCIA Today. I'm your host, Bethany Moore, NCIA's Deputy Director of Communications, checking in with you every Friday with updates on what's happening in the cannabis industry and here at NCIA. Let me jump right into a reminder about our next in-person live 3D event being held in exactly 2 months from now in San Francisco. NCIA's annual Cannabis Business Summit and Expo will be held at the Moscone Center on December 15th through 17th. We're excited to announce an exclusive new treat for the senses at Cannabis Summit, Bloom, a brand's experience by NCIA, bringing you live cannabis plants to see, touch, and smell firsthand on the expo floor. No other cannabis trade show offers this unique, hands-on experience. Conference programming will also include an option for the Cannavest West Investor Forum, as well as the International Cannabis Bar Association program. Take advantage of early bird pricing by securing your tickets today. If you're a member of NCIA, check your benefits because you're eligible for discounts on tickets, or even sometimes free tickets, depending on your level of membership. I can't wait to see you all there, so head to cannabisbusinesssummit.com and secure your tickets today. Okay, moving on, let's check in with NCIA's chief economist, Bo Whitney, to hear about an interesting opportunity for cannabis industry operators to have their voices heard on important business issues. Hey, Bo, how's it going? Thank you so much for taking a few minutes to catch up with us today. You're an economics expert with your firm, Whitney Economics, and you're NCIA's chief economist. So you're helping us crunch the numbers in the cannabis industry. Is that a good way to make sense of all that?
Yeah, I'm considered the numbers guy. Although access to data has been improving over time, there's still kind of a dearth of data overall in the cannabis industry. And so I help provide some data with my team so that I can fill some of the voids that result from this just lack of systemic data across the country.
Great. Yeah, thanks for doing this work with us here. And I'll also mention that you provided an economic analysis report that we included when we sent our response to the Senate for the draft discussion bill rather recently, the CAOA, the KOA, Cannabis Opportunity and Opportunity Administration Act, right?
Yeah, there was a lot to unpack in that proposed legislation. A lot of really important issues to address. But the approach I took was to look at it from a tax and economics perspective, and then really interpret that how the proposed policy would impact the industry from a business perspective. And so I took some time and wrote some critiques, and I thought, which were incorporated by NCIA in their response, but I thought NCIA did a great job of really looking and sampling their membership in order to get as many inputs as possible to give the best feedback possible and to provide solutions. I thought it was a great process, and I felt really privileged to be part of that.
Awesome. Yeah, our government relations team in DC did a great job with that. And if our viewers want to download those reports, you can head to our website at thecannabisindustry.org to the industry reports section, and you'll be able to download the executive summary, the full response, and Bo's economic analysis there as well. All right, so today we are talking about a brand new national survey that we're launching with you and asking cannabis operators, business owners, and stakeholders to fill out. It's called the Survey of U.S. Cannabis Industry Sentiment and Business Conditions. So tell us more about the survey here and what we hope to ultimately find from those results.
Yeah, thanks. I review a lot of policy at the state and federal level from an economic perspective, but I find that a lot of the policy proposals take the regulatory perspective or the law enforcement perspective or the legislative perspective, and they don't really incorporate the perspective of the industry. And so I wanted to be able to provide an opportunity for the industry to have a voice in order to provide feedback back into those policymakers in such a way as they can make informed, data-driven decisions. And part of the objective of this survey was to see if there were any disconnects between policy proposals and what's going on with the industry. And so far, it's looking like there are obviously some disconnects, particularly in the areas of taxation and regulation and banking and interstate commerce and social justice. So far, the preliminary results are really compelling, and they're achieving what I had for in terms of the objective of the survey, to provide a voice and to see if there's any disconnects.
Yeah, that's great. This is important information and a great opportunity for our members to, get what keeps them up at night off their chest, like banking and 280E tax code come to mind immediately as long-term issues there. So great. And the survey itself only takes 4 to 5 minutes to complete. And we're looking for responses by the end of October this month, which is Sunday, October 31st. So it's on our website. So check the blog, take the survey, and help us out, right, Bo?
Yeah, I try not to burden people with these surveys. There's a lot of survey fatigue out there right now. And so I try to cut to the chase, get really focused on what the issues are, and get to the heart of the issues and get the data compiled as quickly as possible. I try to be respectful of people's time. And so it's not an onerous survey by any means. It's pretty straightforward in nature. And so once the survey closes at the end of the month, then it'll take my team a little while to tease out some of the key issues, either by region, by race, by gender, by business type, and the like. And then we'll publish the results out to the industry as soon as it's available. So yeah, really appreciated people's support. It's kind of humbling when I have an exercise and a request like this that people respond so nicely. So I really, really appreciate not only the support of NCIA, but the support of the industry as well.
Excellent. We do as well. So head to our website and take the survey of U.S. cannabis industry sentiment and business conditions. Thanks, Bo. I really appreciate your time today and your work on this survey, and I look forward to reading the results.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. See ya. All right. So one more time, you have until October 31st, a Sunday this year, to fill out and submit the survey. Learn more at thecannabisindustry.org. Let's move on to review some blog articles featured on NCIA's website this last week, starting with the perils of social media from NCIA's Marketing and Advertising Committee. Cannabis brands on social media are surrounded by so much gray area. It's hard to know what makes your presence vulnerable to risks of suspension or worse. To help brands avoid these gray areas, the committees share 5 practices to help cannabis marketers future-proof their brands on social media. Read more in their new blog about social media guidelines for cannabis marketers. Next, cannabis is not only widely regarded as a legitimate medicine, but many people also look to it as a performance tool. With such rapidly shifting perspectives, we're witnessing a monumental moment in time where propaganda is being replaced with factual evidence. As things evolve, active people are not only endorsing legalization, but many swear by cannabis as a performance tool. Even Olympic gold medalist snowboarder Ross Righelati swears by cannabis during both training and competition. The famous Canadian snowboarder feels cannabis improves concentration and is great for training because flower is both fat-free and calorie-free. And one of my personal longtime favorite singers, Alanis Morissette, swears by cannabis as part of the creative process. You ought to know, so learn more in this new blog by Dr. Monaco of CLS Holdings. Next, when you're creating pitch decks, how long should it take to create a successful one? 3 hours? 3 months? The purpose of a pitch deck is to be a visual representation of the company's integrity. We know many companies that decided to save money and wing it only to discover that seasoned investors make lightning-quick decisions based on the quality of what they see. Seasoned investors are masters in their industry and are looking for a pitch deck that lightly educates and motivates them through interesting concepts that make financial sense. Learn more in this blog by David B. Wilkinson of the Hemp Business Advisors. In the meantime, check out our schedule of Industry Essentials webinars being hosted this month, including a fireside chat with our government relations team on Wednesday, October 27th. Register today to listen to Mike and Michelle as they're joined by special guests to discuss the future of sustainability in the cannabis industry. We'll also be talking extensively about NCIA's 2020 white paper on environmental sustainability. Head to our website at thecannabisindustry.org/webinars and register today. Make sure you're subscribed and tuning in to both of our weekly podcasts, NCIA's Cannabis Industry Voice and NCIA's Cannabis Minority Report with host Khadija Adams. You can find us on Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. In the meantime, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram to stay inspired and connected. If you're a member of NCIA, log into NCIA Connect and spark up a conversation with your fellow NCIA members and colleagues today. We'll see you next week.